Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to another WWE Fantasy Log. Get down. There we go. I am James Phoenix. He's Jeff.
Hi.
You sound so enthralled.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're doing this late. This is last week's scoring. We're doing it late. Shit happened over the weekend. As a preemptive reminder, because we are going to be away the entirety of next weekend, the schedule is going to look as follows. On Tuesday night, we're probably just going to forego news altogether. If there's anything super major, we'll discuss it at the beginning of the scoring video next week. That video will be on Tuesday night after Smackdown and 205 Live. And we will recap that. And then on Thursday of next week, we will be covering SummerSlam. To preemptively avoid not having it done before the actual pay-per-view this weekend, we will be doing our SummerSlam predictions at the end of tonight's video.
To the best of our ability.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think any of the matches are majorly going to change at this point.
No, but matches could be added or removed from the card because they like to do that up into the, SummerSlam itself.
True, but we'll go with what we got. I think we know the majors.
Yeah.
And so with that, we will go ahead into the scoring for this week. I will be doing Raw. Tiff could not be with us tonight because of the awkward scheduling. Jeff has Tiff's SmackDown scores. And, of course, he has the 205 Live, so we will do that. Throw this up. All right, let's go over to this one. There we go. So, as you can see over here, currently in the lead at 87.55 is the glorious TNA Perosu Club Originals, run by Jeff. At 82.15 in second is me with the Woken Warriors. And in third is Tiff at 75.92 with the Legit Rowdy Architects. I'm just go ahead and put this down here now. Save time. 8, 12. Wait, no. That's not what I want.
Wait, no?
8-6. What the hell am I doing? Let's try that again. 8-6. There we go. 7, 18. Do we have to be listening to your TV right now?
Sorry, I didn't realize you could hear it. I'm not even looking at it, but okay. Turn it down.
Sorry about that, folks. Live.
Sorry, I didn't think you could hear it because I have like fans on and shit, and I can barely hear it.
Yeah, well, like I said, unless the wind's blowing directly at it, the speakers aren't going to pick up fans, but they are going to pick up TV audio. The microphone, rather. All right, anyway, going to the leaderboards, way up there on the leaderboards with a comfortable lead is Seth freaking Rollins at 831. Following him is the Mr. Monster in the Bank, Braun Strowman at 659. Daniel Bryan clocking in at 546, who may be leaving after SummerSlam. Who knows? Jeff Hardy coming in at 539. Finn Balor, the leader of the Balor Club, at 516. The big dog, Roman Reigns, at 509. Drew Gulag coming in at 506. AJ Styles at 503. The WWE Champion, of course. Dolph Ziggler is going to be at 500. The Intercontinental Champion. And rounding out the top 10 is the SmackDown Women's Champion, Carmella, at 473. All right. Bam. Let us go to Monday Night Raw, as we are wont to do from time to time. Yeah. And again, folks, this is last week's Raw, not the Raw that just ended. We're going to try to prevent ourselves from getting confused, too. All right. So the August 6th edition of Monday Night Raw from last week came from the Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. A.K.a. the most Florida you can get. It's true.
It's damn true.
So we open up the broadcast with a video package looking at the chaos surrounding the Universal title picture. We're welcomed by Michael Cole, and then Kurt Angle comes to the ring with Baron Corbin in tow.
You suck. You suck.
Angle gets on the ring and talks about Rousey making her in-ring Raw debut tonight and how she's begging to compete, unlike Brock Lesnar. He says he wishes he could give Lesnar that kind of credit, and Corbin tells him to watch it. Kurt says he needs to get this off his chest. Brock Lesnar has no respect for the WWE Universe. Paul Heyman still has his job because he produced Lesnar, however, and he'll be on the show for an interview later. Kurt starts to address Brock attacking him, but then Roman Reigns comes out to interrupt, gets in the ring, and takes issue with Lesnar. Then tells Corbin to stop smirking because he ran away when Brock came out last week. Angle adds that Lesnar will not be suspended for his actions and will compete at SummerSlam to defend the Universal title, and he hopes that Reigns kicks his ass. Corbin says that's incredibly unprofessional for the GM to say, but Reigns then calls out Corbin for running away from Lesnar like a coward. Corbin says he was tired last week for beating former Universal Champion Finn Balor, and Kurt then adds that, well, he basically said, like, what did you want me to do? And Kurt replies, well, for one thing, you could have acted like a man last week. Corbin freaks out talking about how Stephanie runs the show and Kurt just books the matches. And so Kurt says that's right, he does make the matches, and he sees a match right here. And so he books Baron Corbin to face Roman Reigns and calls for a referee because that match starts right now. So promo to Kurt and Roman. Well, not Kurt. He's an authority figure. Promo to Roman. 5:14. Since it led to him being put in a match, does Corbin get a promo for that?
Sure.
Cool. 290. All right, we then have Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin, in which Roman Reigns comes out victorious. Near the end of the match, Corbin starts walking up the ramp like he's going to get himself counted out, but then Finn Balor comes out and blocks the exit, which forces Corbin to retreat back to the ring, where he's immediately hit with a spear.
Okay.
So that's going to be Finn Balor with an interference. $22. And then Baron Corbin gets 5 points for competing in a match. And 4 moves is 9 points to Corbin. That's been $299. Roman Reigns gets 20 points for winning a match, 5 for being in.
Hello? Oh, we lost you. Ooh.
Sorry, did the headset do the thing?
Headset did the thing.
Okay. Well, like I was saying, it was 28 points to Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Moving along. Reigns and Balor then exchange a fist bump. Balor then steps to the ring and stands over Corbin and kind of mocks him. Corbin gets back to his feet, and Balor drop kicks him and then hits him with a coup de grace.
Okay, then.
So that's 2 moves. It's Balor with an assault and 2 moves. Where the hell is he? Finn Balor. So that's another 6 points to Finn Balor. All right. After this, we see people backstage doing things. It's short. It's not important. Excuse me. We see footage from last week. Not important. Seth Rollins approaches Kurt Angle backstage, complains that every time he starts beating up either Ziggler or McIntyre, the other one comes in and cheap shots him. Angle tells Rollins to pick a partner because he can have both of them tonight in a tag team match play.
Okay, then.
Promo to Rollins. All right. footage of from last week again. And then we have a match between Bobby Roode and Mojo Raleigh, resulting from their locker room brawl last week.
Okay.
Mojo starts off strong at the beginning, but in the end, the whole thing ends with a glorious DDT in a relatively short time frame. So Mojo Raleigh gets 5 points for being in a match, and one move is 6 points.
Okay.
Bobby Roode gets 20 for winning a match, 5 for competing is 25, and 2 moves is 27 points to the glorious one.
Fair enough. Hey, Jim.
Yo.
You know that Jericho shirt I bought you?
Yeah.
WWE's actually selling it again.
Nice.
It's actually on sale for 50% off right now in the shop. It's like, wait, what? When did you guys start selling that again?
I don't know. Let me know if they're selling the Jericho, the bottle of Jericho Hall shirt.
In a PG era, I highly fucking doubt it.
If you Google it, its page on the shop actually comes up. It's just listed as unavailable.
Oh, okay.
All right. So after that, we see Elias backstage filming a documentary about his music career. We're not going to count that. We are going to count Elias coming out with his guitar and his documentary crew in tow. As he plays his guitar and the crew films him, Lashley interrupts, steps in the ring. He gets on the mic and discusses Elias' documentary with him and says that everything about Elias is a joke. Elias tells his documentary crew to leave because he got interrupted. Elias then throws papers in Lashley's face and cheap shots him and beats Lashley down, but runs the roast but gets caught with a spine buster. Lashley then tells the documentary crew to get back in the ring, and they film Lashley hitting a stalling vertical suplex on Elias. So that's going to be Elias with a promo. Does throwing papers at him and cheap shotting him constitute an assault?
Sure. But I'm not going to say that constitutes foreign object use.
No, I wouldn't have argued that.
All right.
What's it at? 359. Bobby Lashley then gets a promo, and assault is 9. And then the stalling vertical is 10 points to Lashley. All right. People backstage. Breeze approaches Rollins hitting his. Oh, this is great. Did you see it? Did you see last week's Raw?
No.
All right. This was great. So Tyler Breeze approaches Seth Rollins in his locker room and tries to basically pitch himself as Rollins' tag team partner.
Okay.
And he says, look, think about this. We could be the perfect team. I'm gorgeous, and you're passable if you're into that CrossFit Jesus look.
I love how WWE's just embraced CrossFit Jesus.
Think about it. We could dominate together. Picture this. CrossFit Breezes.
Hell yeah.
And Rollins just kind of looks at him like, no, we're not doing that. Roman Reigns walks in and says, nah, I got this. And he fist bumps Rollins. So, promo to Rollins and Breeze. Right. All right. And then I'm going to give a mini to Roman Reigns for showing up and giving a fist bump.
Okay, then.
Okay. So after all that, we go out to the ring where Razor of the Authors of Pain has a one-on-one match against Titus O'Neil. Occam and the remainder of Titus Worldwide are at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
And the match ends with Razor and a big spine buster after kicking Titus out of midair. Because Titus went for a leaping, like a stinger splash into the corner and just got booted. So, let's see here. We're going to give accompaniment to Occam. And accompaniment to Dana Brooke. One. And accompaniment to Apollo Crews. 19. All right. Then the match itself, Razor is going to get 5 points for being in. Actually, no, he won. Titus is going to get 5 points for being in a match, and one move is 6 points to Titus. And then Razor will get 20 points for winning a match, 5 for competing in it is 25, and 4 move points is 29 points to Razor.
Okay.
82 and 9 is 191. Okay. You see some strategy backstage. So Kevin Owens is next out to the stage, and he has an all-new set for the Kevin Owens show. That's right, it's back.
Okay, then.
This is located on a stage to the right of the Titantron setup, if you're facing the Titantron from the ring. And so he has his chair set up. There's a screen, and he introduces his guests, Jinder Mahal and Sunil Singh. And they come out, and Kevin starts interviewing them about the punishment they've taken at the hands of Braun Strowman, and how it almost ended their career. Sorry, Kevin talks about the punishment he sustained, at the hands of Braun Strowman that almost ended his career. He also talks about his intentions to beat Strowman at SummerSlam and take the Money in the Bank briefcase. Owens then goes to introduce Strowman, but he doesn't come out, and Owens says that Strowman is nowhere to be found because he doesn't want any of them. As they continue talking more shit, suddenly the stage starts rumbling. And we see from the side that Braun Strowman has come up behind it, and he proceeds to flip over the entire stage, including all 3 men on it and the whole set and everything.
Okay, then.
Hashtag Braun.
Hashtag get these hands?
Pretty much. So Strowman poses with his briefcase for a moment as the 3 heels recover on the floor. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off by giving a promo to the 3 gentlemen that were on the stage. It's Kevin Owens with a promo, and Jinder Mahal with a promo, and Sunil Singh gets a mini because I don't think he actually said anything.
They have a Raw is Jericho t-shirt if you're interested in that.
They've always had that one. That was his first ever t-shirt in the WWE.
With the red fist?
I believe so, yes.
I'm going to have to buy a
Daniel
Bryan t-shirt here.
Remember, because it was originally Welcome to Monday Night Jericho from Nitro, and when he came over, it was in the promo he interrupted The Rock with. He said, "Welcome to Raw is Jericho."
Yeah, but I thought when he interrupted, he had like the fucking gaudy ass, like sparkly jacket and shit.
Well, he did, but the t-shirt was released thereafter.
Fair.
Anyway. So I'll give a mini to Braun. Does Braun get an OMG for flipping a stage over? I think he should.
Sure.
Cool. 5 points to Braun. 664. Whoa, what the fuck did I just do? I just fucked over Bray Wyatt's points. No.
Don't fuck over Bray Wyatt's points. He's about to be fucked out of a fucking tag team partner, so.
Yeah. All right, so anyway, we do all that, and then we find out after this that Jinder Mahal is going to have to face Braun Strowman in a match.
Okay, then.
Owens and Singh give him a pep talk at ringside before he gets in the ring. He's hesitant to engage with Strowman, but finally does. Kevin Owens proceeds to attempt to distract Braun Strowman at ringside. Strowman chases him away. Back in the ring, he gets his hands on Jinder, beats him up for a little while, but Owens sneaks back and he steals Braun's briefcase. He runs up the ramp with it, which leads to Braun chasing him and catching him and dropping him with a big right hand. Jinder then comes running up behind Braun, and Braun bats him off with the briefcase, resulting in a DQ for weapon use.
Okay, then.
After the match, Braun chases Jinder around the ring and goes to hit him with a briefcase again, but Sunil Singh gets involved and snatches the case. Braun then turns around and drops Sunil with a big boot and retrieves his case, and then heads to the back. So let's see here. That's going to be Kevin Owens with massive interference. .423. And then, let's see. Sunil Singh was just there, so no. All right. Well, technically, Braun lost the match.
Okay.
Officially speaking.
Okay.
So Braun Strowman is basically just going to get 5 points for being in a match and 3 for hitting a dude with a weapon.
Okay.
So 8 points to Braun.
Okay.
That puts 672. Oh, and he gets 1 point for hitting Sunil with a big boot. Forgot about that. Okay. Jinder Mahal is going to get 5 points for competing. He technically did not get himself DQ'd, so it's not an intentional DQ for points. So he basically just gets the 5 for competing. And that's it. Sucks to be Jinder.
Sure.
83. Okay. So we go backstage where Baron Corbin hands Kurt a phone with Stephanie on the other end. And he tells Stephanie that he'll take care of something for her and gives the phone back to Corbin. We then go to a pre-taped Roman Reigns interview where he talks about Brock's feud with Lesnar. And he says that if he wins, he's going to do what Lesnar doesn't do, and that's show up every night and defend the Universal title. Promo to Roman. All right. Next up, Rollins and Reigns are walking backstage when they run into Angle and Corbin. Corbin tells them that Stephanie McMahon has forbidden Reigns from being in the tag team match tonight because it could injure him before his big SummerSlam title main event, and they can't afford that.
All right, then.
Corbin tells Reigns if he goes out there tonight, he will forfeit his SummerSlam title match. Rollins tells Roman Reigns not to worry and that he's got this, and he walks off. Roman hesitates for a moment, punches Baron Corbin in the stomach, and then walks away.
Fair.
Indeed. So that is... you think that's enough for a full promo?
For who?
Rollins and Reigns are the only two that get points.
Did Rollins actually say anything?
Yeah, he said, don't worry, Roman, I got this tonight.
Did Roman say anything?
Or
did he just punch Corbin?
I think he just punched Corbin.
Then I would say full for Rollins, silent for Roman, since he didn't say anything.
Sounds good. 553. So Seth Rollins goes out and is forced to compete in a handicap match, which he loses via a double team with Drew and Dolph, which leads to Dolph hitting a super kick.
Hmm.
So being a handicap match, this constitutes a specialty.
Okay.
As you do. So if they're the winners, we'll do Seth first. Seth is going to get 5 points for competing in a match, 3 points for being in a specialty match, is 8. And he also pulled out 7 moves, is 15 points to Rollins.
Hmm.
Yeah. 6 and 5 is 861. I'd have to go back and double check, but at the rate this is going, by the end of SummerSlam, Seth Rollins may be the first superstar in the history of our league to crest 1,000 points in a season.
And that's hilarious because this is not the longest season of our year.
Nope.
Wow.
I'd have to go back and double check that. I'm not sure, but I think.
I think you'd be right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we got that. So we got Dolph and Drew. Dolph got the win, so we'll do Drew first. So let's see. Drew is going to get 15 points for being on the winning team. He's going to get 5 points for being in a match, is 20. 3 points for being in a specialty match is 23. And 1 move is 24 points to Drew McIntyre, Scottish psychopath. That's at 378. Let's see. Dolph Ziggler is going to get 20 points for winning a match. 10 for winning a specialty match is 30. 5 for competing is 35. 3 for competing in a specialty is 38.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 move is 39 points to Dolph.
To Dolph.
What's about 539? All right. We then have the B team versus the Revival. As the champs take turns beating on Dash Wilder in the opening moments, Dawson finally gets a tag, and the Revival double teams Bo for a little while. Bo ends up in a sleeper from Dawson in the corner, but fights free. There's a head-on collision. Then the lights go out, come back, and the Woken Warriors render the entire thing a no contest.
Of course they do.
So what are the rules on a no contest? Let's see. No contest is an extra 5. Okay. Fair. So therefore, which order should I do this in? Let's see. Yeah, there were no moves in this match as far as I could tell, so. So, let's see here. First of all, Hardy and Wyatt will get interference. And Matt Hardy. All right, and that's going to be 10 points to everybody that competed. 10 points to Bo is going to be 408. And 10 points to Curtis is going to be 455. And 10 points to Dash Wilder. 88. And 10 points to Scott Dawson. 177. Okay. So next up we go, and I'm gonna let you take over for a minute.
Okay.
Tell us about Paul Heyman's interview with Renee Young.
My God, this interview was a masterclass in promo. And this interview shows why Paul Heyman teaches the promo class in the fucking WWE Performance Center. And yes, for those of you who don't know, Paul Heyman does in fact do promo classes down the Performance Center.
I did not know that.
Yes, he does. So there will be a crop of talent coming. He had some people in there. I don't remember who they listed who was in there. So there will be a crop of talent who will be coming out of the Paul Heyman school on how to talk on the mic. So be ready for that, people. But yes, this man shows why he is hands down, bar none, the best promo man on the goddamn motherfucking planet. Because, now, mind you, prepared promo. If you just give the man a mic and stick him out in the ring, The Rock will fucking destroy him.
As will Jericho.
As with Jericho.
And probably The Miz.
Probably The Miz, yes. Maybe even Triple H, because Triple H is pretty damn good on the spot, too.
He is, that's true.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin. But anyway.
Shawn Michaels, if it were 10 years ago.
Yeah, if it's not Stuttering Sean, yeah. But if you'd say, Paul, we need you to cut a promo on this, go write something, he will go write something, come back, and act half of Hollywood under the goddamn table. Because holy shit. It opens up. Paul Heyman on the left, Renee Young on the right, kind of darkened room a little bit. You look at Paul Heyman, he is disheveled, he is unkempt, he is not shaven at all, he has red fucking eyes, like, dude went fucking 110% here and just completely sold the fact that he was completely distraught and just, at a loss after Brock Lesnar manhandled him the previous week. And the promo that he cuts, and the little attention to detail that only Paul Heyman brings to a promo is just, you're just like, wow, and you believe it. And that's what they want you to believe because, of course, well, you'll hear about this week, next week, but even going so far as to about a third to half the way through the promo or the interview stops and literally turns to whoever's off camera and is like, and he's like quivering at this point. You can see like fear in his eyes. He's very quiet. He's not the boastful, prideful, Brock Lesnar's going to kick your ass, Paul Heyman. He's just Paul Heyman, the man at this point. And he turns and he's like, I kind of don't want to be doing this. And he even outright says, I don't know if Brock Lesnar would like me doing this. It's like almost like he's afraid for his life. But then he stops for a moment, turns back to Renee Young and says, no, you know what? Do your job. So through all the fear and everything, Paul Heyman is like, no, I have to be the professional here. The professional thing is let her do her job. I can't just tell her not to do her job just because I'm a spineless, gutless coward. It's just the way Paul portrays the character is just, like I said, Hollywood could take some cues from this man because my God. And, and so she asks him a couple of questions, and it was a very, very well done interview because not to underplay Renee Young, who did a fantastic job as interviewer here. She was kind of soft-spoken and kind of playing up the fact that, okay, she's not going to like completely go after Paul because she sees that Paul is distraught and all that stuff. And actually being professional and asking just simple questions. And, she apologized to him a couple of times, I'm sorry, but, as an interviewer, I have to ask these questions. And Paul's like, no, I completely understand. Go ahead and ask the question. And so, she asked him about Brock putting his hands on him and like how he's doing. And have you talked to Brock and stuff? And again, attention to detail here. Paul Heyman's response is, no, I haven't talked to Brock, but that's not because I haven't wanted to. I've called him, but he's disconnected his phone number. And he begins to cry, like actually choke back tears and cry. And as he says, Brock's kids and my kids were really, or grandkids or whatever, were really close friends. Playing up the fact that Brock has just cut all ties with Paul Heyman at this point, and it's completely devastating him. And she continues on with the interview, asking him various things. And it eventually turns to, well, if this is the end of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, you know, who could be on the horizon as the next Paul Heyman guy? And Paul kind of looks up at her with just this sadness and this devastation in his eyes and says, how could you ask me that, Renee? I haven't even processed that Brock Lesnar attacked me yet, and you're asking me to look to the future? I can't do that. And then she wraps it up. She says, well, I only really have one more question, and there's only one way to end this interview. And Paul knows what's coming. He's like, go ahead and ask me. And Renee turns to Paul and says, Paul, in your professional estimation, at SummerSlam in 2 weeks, who do you think is going to win that match? Do you think Roman Reigns can beat Brock Lesnar? And he just kind of looks up at her, and you can just see this darkness in his eyes, and he goes, I have never seen a Brock Lesnar more focused, more angry, more vicious, and they're not going to like me using this word because we don't use this word in our business, but I'm going to do it anyway. More violent. You asked me if I think Roman Reigns can beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Renee, against this Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns doesn't stand a chance. And that's where the interview ends. And it's so good because they're not yelling. He's not, saying, the rating, defending, well, no, he is very soft. And speaking of that, there's one point when she's asking him about Brock Lesnar. It's during a point in time where he says like his kids and Brock's kids, like, were friends, stuff like that. He was like, Brock and I would sit and talk, Renee, and we had these plans of Brock becoming, a two-champion, superstar,
Two-sport champion.
Two-sport champion, thank you. With the Universal title on one shoulder and the UFC Heavyweight Championship on the other shoulder. And I would, come out and say he's the reigning, defending, and then he stops as he's like choking back tears. Like it physically pains him to say those words because Brock Lesnar has turned on him and basically dumped him to the wayside. It's literally that one short promo is a fucking masterclass in acting. That's how good that promo is. And it gets even better because on WWE's YouTube channel, they have a short video that shows the unaired portion of that interview. I don't know if you saw that, Jim.
Didn't see it, but heard about it.
Where it's literally immediately after where Paul Heyman is like, against this Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns doesn't stand a chance. And then the camera's cut on the live TV, but in this one, it shows him sitting there, and then he just looks up, and he goes, unless. And a smile kind of crosses his face, and he gets up and walks off. It's brilliant. Like, that man deserves an Oscar for that performance. It was so good. Promo of the year right there. That is how you cut a promo. Roman Reigns, you need to go back to the Performance Center and go take Paul's class. Because compared to that, to quote my favorite superstar of all time, Roman Reigns, you absolutely suck.
I'm going to give Roman credit where due. He actually cut a pretty good promo tonight.
Did he have anyone to cut it against?
No.
That's why. That's already been firmly established. When he cuts it against himself, he's not terrible. When he has to actually cut it against a physical person, he's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
That has been firmly established. That was established with the John Cena thing.
Yeah, he basically just ran into the audience, and he was tired of all the conspiracy, and tired of all the bullshit, and tired of all the Brock Lesnar fucking shit. He's gonna take the, take the fucking title back and blah blah blah. He just ran out being tired of all this shit and this being done with this fucking feud.
Right. But that's the thing is, you give Roman Reigns a script, and he can do okay with the script. He can make it halfway believable. But when you put him up there against a human being and say improvise, he can't do it. He is not his cousin. his cousin would fucking bury him 6 feet under if that ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a sad fact. Roman Reigns cannot improvise on the mic. He is fucking terrible. He's pretty good in the ring. I enjoy watching him wrestle. And if you give him a mic and a script and no one to talk against, he can cut a halfway decent promo. But that's only because the people who write his promos can actually write a halfway decent promo. And he's not bad at delivering it. But the moment it goes off script, Roman Reigns gets flustered and doesn't know what the fuck to do. Because when he improvises, all he can come up with is bitch. And it's like, come on, man. Really? That's the best you got?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was proven when he went up against Cena, and Cena fucking wrecked him by going off script. It was proven when he went up against The Miz, and The Miz fucking buried him 2 seconds into the goddamn promo, because The Miz is the master at going off script.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Roman Reigns just cannot hang on the mic. I'm sorry. He is fucking goddamn terrible. Which is why having Paul Heyman would have been a great thing, but fucking WWE.
That's for next week's show.
Yeah, I know.
Got there. Anyway, so following this promo, as I already gave promo points to Paul Heyman, we have a match between the Riot Squad and Bayley and Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
And the match ends with a Riot Squad victory after Bayley begins fighting with Morgan, Liv Morgan at ringside, but Ruby Riott herself comes out of nowhere and pulls Morgan to safety, and that distraction allows Sarah Logan to roll Sasha up from behind for a 3 count.
Okay, then.
That's going to be Ruby Riott with an interference. I'm going to put her at 220. And then, let's see. Let's see. So I guess we'll do Bayley and Sasha first, since they did not win this match.
Okay.
All right. So Bayley gets 5 points for being in a match. 2 moves, 7 points to Bayley.
Oh.
Let's see. That's 2. And then Sasha is going to get 5 for competing in 1 move, is 6 points to Sasha. And then we go back to the Riot Squad, and let's see, it was Sarah Logan who got the victory, so therefore Liv Morgan will get herself 15 points for being on the winning team. 5 for competing is 20, and 1 move is 21 points to 21 points to Liv Morgan. Six. And Sarah Logan gets 20 points for winning a match, and 5 for being in one is 25. She had no moves. And 6 is 231. Okay. There we go. Next up. They celebrate. Video package. We come back to the ring. Alexa Bliss and Alicia Fox come out to the ring for an interview.
Alicia Fox.
Yes. Alexa complains how she's always being asked about Ronda, and she asks Charlie Caruso a good question. She tells Charlie Caruso to ask a good question. So Charlie asks Alicia how she prepared to step in the ring with Ronda tonight. And Alicia introduces footage on the screen of her attacking Ronda from behind last week. They then kick Charlie out of the ring, and Alexa talks about Alicia paving the way for the rest of the women, thanks to her longevity and tenure in WWE. Alexa thanks Alicia for her contributions. It says every woman in the locker room is appreciative of her, except for Ronda Rousey. Ronda and Natalya then come out to interrupt, and we have ourselves a match.
You know what?
What?
You know what people have said?
What have people said?
This entire promo was written to talk about Mickie James. But because Mickie James is like injured or something, and that's why Alicia's been inserted into this. They're like, well, Alicia's been around for a while. Fuck it. We'll just keep using the same shit so we don't have to fucking write anything new. Because it kind of applies, right?
Sure, why not?
That's why people have said that's why the promo felt a little bit off, because it wasn't written for Alicia Fox. They just applied it to her because she's kind of Mickie James, just, without the notoriety, without the accomplishments, without the whole reason why the promo works for Mickie James. Because, Mickie James, multi-time women's champion, actually a decent wrestler, never tried to kill anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alicia's a former Divas champion. Credit where due.
Yeah, but she didn't earn it. She was just given it.
Yeah. She's still the only woman who's been in the company as long as she has. There's got to be a reason.
Because they need a jobber?
Yeah. Anyway. So Ronda and Natalya come out, and we have our main event match for the week: the in-ring debut of Ronda on Raw of Ronda Rousey taking on Alicia Fox.
Fair.
So first off, Alexa and Alicia get a promo. We'll get that out of the way. All right. And Natalya's going to get some accompaniment. Me, 22. All right. So we then have the match. Ronda tells Alicia to bring it, but Alicia stays sitting in the corner, talks some trash, goes for a slap, but gets her hand caught. Ronda takes her down, and Alicia rolls out. Alexa then causes a distraction, so Natalya pulls her down. Alexa throws Natalya into a ring post, and then Alexa hits a cheap shot on Ronda while the ref's distracted by the goings-on outside the ring. She then kicks Ronda while she's down, but Ronda gets up and tees off on her with strikes, takes her down a few times. Alicia rolls out again. Ronda grabs her and takes her back in the ring, fights off another distraction, suplexes Alicia, and then taps Alicia out to an armbar immediately.
Again, they needed a jobber.
Yep. So that's going to be Alexa with an interference. Does Natalya get interference for pulling Alexa off the apron and beating her up?
Sure. Did it actually affect the match?
Let's see. Alexa throws Natalya into the ring post after Natalya pulled her down, and then Alexa hits a cheap shot on Ronda while the ref is distracted by... Alexa hits a cheap shot while the ref's distracted by Alicia. So, not really. She pulled her down and they got thrown into a ring post.
I guess if it didn't actually affect the match, I would say give her an assault, I suppose.
Nah, because there's only a pull down. I'm not even going to worry about it.
Okay.
Fucking, she's already got a accompaniment. Anyway. So Ronda ends up with a victory. So we will do Alicia first.
Mm-hmm. Alicia first.
Yes, she gets herself, let's see, 5 points for competing in this match, and 4 for being in the main event is 9, and 1 move is 10 points to Alicia Fox. We have Ronda Rousey, who gets 20 points for winning a match. 9 for being in and winning the main event is 29. 5 for competing is 34. and 2 moves is 36 points to the baddest woman on the planet. What's her at? 169. Ronda and Natalya then do a post-match interview. Alexa tries to attack them from behind, but Ronda catches her, throws her down, and Alexa retreats. Ronda then adds that Alexa's women's title is hers and stares her down. So I'm going to throw that as a Ronda and Natalya promo.
Okay.
All right. Thus endeth Raw.
Okay, then.
Let's check the scores. Bam. All right. In the lead at 88-69 is still Glorious, followed at 84-36 by the Woken Warriors, and 77-65 for the Legit Ready Architects. All right.
Fair enough.
Indeed. Let's go to SmackDown.
Okay. Goddamn WWE and their one-day sales. Jesus Christ. Right before Power War Fuck On, you're going to force me to spend money. Damn it. I'm going to buy a bunch of t-shirts.
Buy me some.
There's nothing there you want.
Buy me a Raw as Jericho.
Buy your own Raw as Jericho. Just log on and buy one.
No, I don't want to pay for it.
Fuck.
Anyway, SmackDown.
All right.
We opened SmackDown, which was emanating from the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. And we opened up with Randy Orton. Orton. Who, if you saw the story this week, has now been accused of whipping his dick out at people.
Oh, I wanted to cover that. I was gonna say we need to cover at least one news item. Because that bears discussing, because what the fuck?
Yep.
So we may do that as a very, very quick impromptu news. Just like cover one bit of news or something later.
You want to do it, you might as well do it now. We're talking about him.
Fine. So yeah, apparently old shit from Orton is being dredged up. He may or may not be continuing to do this, but apparently to new people, especially new, like, of the writing staff and stuff, Orton is being accused multiple times, pretty much of doing it to every new person, of basically coming in and basically shoving his hand down his crotch, grabbing his dick, pulling it out, and holding his hand and being like, "Hi, I'm Randy Orton." And then when they refuse to shake his hand, he's like, "What? You want me to tell Stephanie McMahon that you're refusing to shake Randy Orton's hand?" And then the further accusation is that there was one time where Stephanie actually walked in on him with his dick hanging out and proceeded to fucking do nothing.
Well, no, they said that he walked in and his dick went back in his pants right as she was coming in and she didn't see it. Seemed to be the implication.
Oh, so because that's not what I heard, but fair enough. Because I heard that she walked in and his dick was still hanging out, and then he like put it back, and like there were still like no charges brought. There's no sexual harassment allegations or anything like that. But fair enough. But yeah, so WWE's official statement is that they're investigating it.
Quite.
So this may be strike 3, go directly to jail for Randy Orton. Because he's already got 2 strikes on him, but this would be grounds for immediate termination.
Depends on if it gets picked up and becomes a bigger story than this, because let's be honest, Randy Orton is immune to strikes at this point. He's reached John Cena territory.
I don't know. I don't think he's immune from sexual harassment.
Like I said, it depends if the investigation proves anything and if anybody tries to sue him for it. But anyway, Randy Orton comes down to the ring to kick off the broadcast. He gets in, he talks some shit about Jeff Hardy. Shows us footage of him beating up Jeff Hardy. Says he's going to destroy all the fans' favorite wrestlers in a more violent fashion than ever before. And he says that it will be so violent, you will want to change the channel. Also, can I point out something fucking hilarious?
You may point out something fucking hilarious.
Think about what I just said. The wording that Randy Orton used.
What did he say?
He says he's going to destroy the fans' favorite wrestlers in a more violent fashion than ever before. It will be so violent, you'll want to change the channel.
Huh.
No.
So basically, he's telling people not to watch WWE.
Well, kind of, but yeah, that wasn't my point.
Hey, what's your point?
My point was so much for Paul, we don't use that word in our business, Heyman.
True.
Anyway, he says that last week he erased the Enigma Hardy, and he's going to take out every other wrestler the fans respect. He says that he doesn't get enough respect from the fans or the people in the back. And then he runs down his long list of accomplishments, including championships and other such things. And he blames the fans for his violent acts and says that the most violent letters in the business are RKO.
Okay.
And we, for some reason, see backstage that the Bar was watching Randy Orton on the monitor.
We are the Bar.
Yes. So promo to Randy Orton.
Does he get minus points for whipping his dick out?
He didn't do it on TV, so no.
Damn.
That's allegedly. It has not been proven. It's allegations.
So yeah, she's given Orton 5 for promo, the Bar for silent promo, and then Becky and Charlotte for promo.
Well, I haven't gotten to Becky and Charlotte yet.
Okay. But she has question mark on the Bar, so I guess do we?
Yeah, I mean they're just watching on a monitor. I mean, is that really? We don't normally do that for watching on a monitor.
Not unless it's for like a feud and they're like watching the match or something.
They weren't, so I'm not going to count that.
Okay.
So Becky Lynch is backstage talking to Charlotte, and they discuss how they're both going after the same thing, the women's title, but they add that they're good together, they're okay, and they do their little teacup thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned that it's good that they're on the same page, and Becky makes a rather interesting comment.
Okay.
Because as they're doing and because Becky says, Charlotte, yeah, it's I mean, it's good. We're good, right? We're on the we're on the same page. I mean, we're not Sasha and Bailey,
who are on the same page
now. For how long? Who knows?
Well, given what they're probably building up to for a long fucking time, because they're probably going to be the champs.
We shall see.
If not, at least Revolution, because they're going to have to go beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey.
Right. Well, they're not going to beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. And if that feud's going to go on, that'll probably go on through WrestleMania. So I guarantee goddamn to you, they're going to be together probably until WrestleMania, at least. At the very latest.
We'll find out. Anywho.
You don't book 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen and not make that a WrestleMania match.
That is true. So. All right. Promo to Becky and Charlotte.
Oh, this pains me.
What's that?
Placing this order.
Ah.
They're 50% off shirts. It's like, oh, I gotta pick some up.
All right. So we then go out to the ring, where the aforementioned team of Charlotte and Becky have a match against the Iconics. And the Horsewomen proceed to win that match via a figure 8 on Peyton.
Fair.
So, the Iconics are going to get 5 points. Oh, you have the scores. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Give me the scores.
All right, so we're going to start with the woman you overlooked. We're going to give 5 points to Carmella for commentary.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. 478.
Then we'll head over to Peyton Royce, who gets 5 thank you for showing up points.
No moves?
No, she did fuck all, according to Tiff.
Fair enough. 63. 163, sorry.
We have Billie Kay, who gets 6 points because she actually hit her finishing move.
Nice.
I assume that's a finishing move since it's got a unique name called the Shades of Kay.
Makes sense. Okay. No, hang on.
We have Straight Fire. She gets 5 points for the match, 15 for the win, 1 for armbar, 1 for a leg lariat, and 1 for the Bexploder. For, all right, I guess it's 23 points to Becky Lynch.
5 is 65. That's 368.
And then, woo! 5 for a match, 20 for a win, 1 for the boot, 1 for a moonsault, 1 for the figure 8, 28 points to woo!
All right, that becomes 88. And then another 8 is 296. All right. Next up, we cut backstage to the New Day, who are interviewed by Renee Young. And Kobe decides to take this over, so he puts on a sport coat and a blonde wig, and proceeds to use his white man voice to conduct an interview with Big E and Xavier.
Isn't that kind of racist?
A little bit, but it would probably be more racist were there not a were that movie out right now. Sorry to disturb you. That's literally all about that.
Oh, I haven't heard about that movie.
Yeah, it's got Danny Glover in it. And,
okay.
and another guy whose name I cannot remember, but he's a popular actor right now. And the shtick is that he goes to work for a telemarketing company, and Danny Glover works there. And he basically learns it's a comedy, so it's a dark comedy, sort of. And basically, he learns that to be successful in telemarketing business, he has to use his white voice.
Oh, is that what they were parodying?
Possibly, I have no idea.
Fair.
But that was a movie that came out recently.
Okay.
All right. And it is Kofi's voice is indeed hilarious, though.
Of course it is. It's Kofi.
So, promo to the New Day.
Yep. 15 points to me. Yay. 15 points to me. Yay.
And Kofi, where the hell is he? There we go. And Xavier. Okay. Let's see here. We see a pre-taped video of The Miz with his private security talking about wanting Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Promo to The Miz.
Da Miz.
Da Miz. Let's see. Charlotte and Becky are backstage talking about their win tonight, and Becky says that tonight was great, but SummerSlam will be another story. And Charlotte says they'll have to be great against each other when the time comes.
So promo to the two of them.
I guess so.
Cool. And now time for the face that runs the place.
We see a video package looking at Samoa Joe attacking AJ and calling him out and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then AJ Styles comes out of the ring. You want to talk about this, or?
I didn't see it.
Fair. AJ comes out, gets a mic, says that a lot of trash talking and testing goes on in the ring, and sometimes it gets personal, like when Joe talked about his family last week. But AJ says that he wants to be the greatest WWE superstar for his family, not in spite of them. He says he's been with his wife for 18 years, but she's basically a single parent now because AJ can't always be there. Joe is shown backstage watching with what looks like a black eye, which was from a house show over the weekend, presumably. AJ says Joe knows his wife and kids. They shared crappy hotels and stale food together before they got successful. And Joe threw away their whole relationship by talking about his family last week. Years of friendship. And AJ says he's not going to let Joe get his hands on the WWE title. And at SummerSlam, not only will Samoa Joe not walk out with the WWE Championship, he's going to be lucky to walk out at all. Joe is shown laughing.
Fair. So 5 points to AJ, 3 to Joe.
Yep. Okay.
Lana is the best. Lana number
Lana
one.
is shown backstage warming up. Rusev approaches and says that she has his support and that it will be a happy Lana day. Aiden English approaches, says he didn't mean to cause her the match last week. He says he knows he had a bad couple weeks, but he's here to say that he's very sorry. Rusev says that they forgive him, but it might be better for him to stay backstage for tonight. Rusev and Lana walk off while Aiden looks disappointed.
So 5 points to Aiden and Rusev for a promo, and then Tiff has a question mark on Lana, but maybe a mini promo because she was there.
Sure.
Let's have a match player.
Hang on, let me do the promo. 402 for Rusev. All right. Then we have a match player.
Go.
Lana takes on Zelina Vega one-on-one. The match ends with shenanigans as Rusev and Almas begin brawling on the outside. After basically Almas causes a distraction, Zelina drops Lana. Rusev goes after Almas, whips him into the fan barricade. Zelina then kicks Rusev in the head from the apron and almost drops him from behind. Meanwhile, Lana hits a boot on Zelina and takes control while the brawling's still going on. Aiden English runs out and spears Almas, but in the process, he bumps into Lana, and Lana ends up going down, and Zelina takes advantage and gets a pinfall.
All right. So we got Aiden English, 6 points for interference.
Yep.
We got Andrade Cien Almas, 6 points for interference.
And
we got Rusev Machka, Rusev Crash, 6 points for interference.
Not what I meant.
What? That's all that's on here. What else?
Almas gets accompaniment.
Oh, yeah. She didn't put that on here. 5 for accompaniment for Almas.
You know
so
better. Come on.
11 points to Almas.
It is, which puts him at 205 live.
Yep. We have Rusev Machka, Rusev Crash. 5 for accompaniment, 6 for interference, 1 for the Machka clothesline. Puts Rusev at 12 points.
.414.
All right. We have Lana number 2. Lana not the best. 5 for showing up and looking sexy and actually knowing how to wrestle.
147.
And then Zelina gets 25 for winning the match because she did fuck all.
Okay.
She won off of a spear by Aiden English.
Yep. Let's see. So at the 120. What's her 122? All right.
All right. Declare the ring and we'll have another match play.
Now, first we're going to go backstage to Shinsegae Nakamura, who does an interview with Renee Young about his scheduled match with Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam.
Oh, to stiff me points. Okay.
And R-Truth and Ty Dillinger interrupt the promo with Truth saying that he wants to face Nakamura for the U.S. title.
Okay.
And Nakamura asks how he's planning on getting a match with him. And Truth says something about pinning Carmella.
Okay then.
Yeah, it was. Truth got confused.
Okay.
Anyway, Nakamura says something in Japanese, and Truth looks really, really offended. And Ty Dillinger is like, Truth, what did he say? And Truth is like, I can't repeat that on television. The match with Carmella is off. I want Shinsuke tonight.
Okay then.
Promo to Shinsuke, R-Truth, and Ty Dillinger.
Fair. So Truth is just a crazy man?
Yeah. I remind you, he spent several years walking around with an imaginary friend named Little Jimmy.
True.
R-Truth. And Shinsuke. Okay. Next, Byron Saxton gets in the ring.
Okay.
And he proceeds to conduct an interview with The Miz via satellite as The Miz comes up on the screen live from the set of Miz and Mrs.
Okay.
And The Miz calls Byron a bad announcer. He promotes the show, says he's going to finish Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam because he's sick of sharing the spotlight with him and of dealing with him in general. He says that while Bryan was at home crying and out of action, The Miz was here day after day working. And he notes that he's still here on set working, and that Daniel Bryan is still nowhere to be seen.
I don't see you there working, Miss. I see you where you've been throughout the majority of Bryan's tenure of not being able to wrestle. That is not in the fucking ring, but off being a goddamn bad actor. So, yeah, no, Brock Lesnar Jr., you do not get to say that.
Well, you see, he didn't say it for long because suddenly at his location of filming, he's jumped from behind by Daniel Bryan.
Okay, then.
Daniel proceeds to beat the shit out of him for a while. But unfortunately, The Miz had his aforementioned private security, who Bryan does beat up, but while he's distracted beating up the security, The Miz grabs a vase nearby and bashes Daniel Bryan in the head with it. Basically knocking him out.
I'm surprised they okayed a headshot to a man who has a history of concussions.
Yeah, well. And so Miz's security helps him up and they hobble away as Bryan recovers on the floor. So let's see here.
So
That's
Dom Miz, 5 for a promo, 3 for an object use for the pause.
Yep.
8 points to Dom Miz.
Yeah, which puts him at 325. And then
Daniel
Bryan with an assault.
Bryan gets 4 for an assault.
He does.
Yeah, this she actually had on there.
Yeah. It's Daniel Bryan at 550.
Yeah.
Next, we go back to the ring for R-Truth versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Where Shinsuke beats the shit out of R-Truth.
He does, and ends it with a Kinshasa.
He basically beats up a mentally challenged man.
Kind of, yeah.
Be a star, ladies and gentlemen.
Points.
R-Truth gets 5 points for being senile. 3 points for not being senile and actually escaping a move.
Mm-hmm.
1 point for a Hurricane Rana, 1 point for a hip toss for a total of 10 moves to R-Truth.
Okay, puts him at 37.
We have the King of Ball Style.
Yes.
5 points for showing up for the match. 20 points for winning said match. 1 point for bad vibrations and 1 point for the aforementioned Kinshasa for 27 points to Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's 51 and 7 is 450. No, wait, hang on. That's not right. Go back and try that again. That becomes 461 and therefore 468. That's what I wanted. Okay.
Then we got backstage to the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes, there's a pre-taped promo.
5 points to the former Wyatt family.
And Eric Rowan. Okay. The Bludgeon Brothers then go to the ring and squash some enhancement talent.
Oh, that's why I didn't recognize the name. They actually have a name, 3SK,
Okay, then.
according to Tiff. Which is actually a pretty cool name, but
Indeed.
don't know what it stands for. But yeah, basically, they get win points moving on. Basically, Rowan and Harper didn't do anything.
Although it is worth noting that I don't know anything about this guy because I didn't hear anything, but it wasn't noting that the commentators dubbed one of the dudes in this match Taz Jr.
Okay, then. But yeah, apparently the Bludgeon Brothers couldn't be bothered to hit a finisher. So I don't know how they won. They didn't do any signature moves. They didn't do any finisher. They just won. To explain that one, Jim.
Let's see here. Looks like they hit a powerbomb Doomsday Device combination.
Isn't that their tag team move?
I think so.
So Tiff missed that. Is that the only move they did?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Okay, so 21 to... Go ahead.
I should be noted here, however. I don't know if she gave the appropriate points.
Okay.
Did she note in specialty?
No, was it a specialty match?
Well, there were 3 jobbers.
Oh, so it was a handicap jobber match.
Hence 3SK.
Ah. Fair. So we'll go to Rowan because he did not win this match. He is 5 for being in a match. Is it 4 for a specialty match?
No, it's 4 for the main event. It's 3 for a specialty match.
3 for a specialty match. So that's 8 points. 15 for being on the winning team is 23 points to Eric Rowan.
Yeah, right. So that's 4, 6, that's 7 is 297, and then 307, 317.
So we have 28 points to Luke Harper plus how much for winning the specialty match?
10.
10. So 38
and
points
3 for being in it.
I already gave him that. 38 points to Luke Harper.
All right. That's going to put him at 358.
We go on to our main event.
Correct. The New Day takes on the Bar for the right to face the Bludgeon Brothers in a tag team title match at SummerSlam.
Playa. Hit it.
Better than internet. I don't know. Yeah, the New Day wins after basically Cesaro swings Big E and locks in the sharpshooter, and Big E proceeds to fight out of it. and holds Cesaro. And Cesaro switches from the sharpshooter to a crossface. And while he's locked into crossface, Biggie actually picks Cesaro up and is holding him while Cesaro still has the crossface locked in. As Biggie is getting up, Kofi reaches in and tags himself in. And Kofi proceeds to leap off the top and hit Cesaro with a midnight hour while Cesaro was still holding onto a crossface.
What? Okay. Can I get OMG points for that? That sounds amazing.
It was kind of cool. I mean, really, like I said, obviously because he was, already up. Basically, his legs were wrapped around Biggie's arm to not fall, and he had his hands around Biggie's face. But yeah, he pretty much got midnight houred out of a crossface.
Now, let me take a look at said midnight hour and see if it's deserving of OMG.
Yeah, check it out.
Because that sounds pretty fucking cool.
It is pretty fucking cool.
Also, apparently, in a WWE.com WWE Network exclusive, or maybe it's just WWE YouTube exclusive, the New Day celebrated with AJ Styles in the back after their main event win.
Nice.
Because it's not like AJ had anything to do, so it's like, fuck it, I'll go party with the New Day. That, and he probably had to meet up with Xavier to film Up, Down, Down anyway, my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be. Biggie actually inverted it. He actually flipped Cesaro around and forced him to break the crossface to go up into the midnight hour.
Midnight hour, yeah, I missed that part. That was my bad. I just watched the clip myself.
That's still fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I guess not. That's fair.
Indeed.
Cesaro, you should not be screaming tap when he's got you on your knees and you're trying to cinch in a crossface. If you're on your knees, the crossface is not cinched in, you dumb motherfucker. It's clearly you're fucked if you're on your knees.
Yep.
Boom. That was a flush midnight hour.
It was quite good. Anyway, points.
Surprised they won. Anyway, Xavier. 5 points for being there with Francesca too.
Quite.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. Hang on.
Hanging on.
Hanging on. I think Tiff missed something.
What did Tiff miss?
Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and give Xavier his points. Before we go on to anyone else, 3 points to the Bludgeon Brothers for a silent promo.
Okay.
Because the last shot of SmackDown is you cut to the crowd and you see the Bludgeon Brothers from behind standing in the crowd watching the match, and they just kind of turn and walk past the camera as if they're leaving. So they actually watch the match.
Yeah, they were standing over next to the ramp in the area where the announce table would be if this were Raw.
So yeah, they should get 3 points for that.
Okay.
So give them that, and then I'll give points out for everybody else.
Harper and Eric Rowan. That's 320. Come on, clear the box. Okay.
Alrighty then. So we'll go to the losers. We'll do Cesaro, the actual loser. 5 points for being in a match, 4 for being in the main event, 1 for a Cesaro swing, 1 for a front suplex, 1 for a standard suplex, 1 for a double team backbreaker, which apparently they have, and 1 for the sharpshooter. Does he actually have a crossface as a signature move?
Yes, it does.
So he should get 1 for the crossface as well.
Yep.
So that's 15 points to Cesaro.
15. All right, that's going to be 36. 141.
Then we go to the guy who just stood there and watched his tag team partner lose the match.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that's what he did. He literally threw the match.
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus. And that's 5 for throwing the match, 4 for throwing a main event.
Mm-hmm.
1 for rolling senton, 1 for front suplex, 1 for the said double team, 1 for the white noise, 13 points to thrower. I mean, Sheamus.
Okay, that's going to be 119.
All right. Then we'll go.
It's part of Sheamus' secret plan to get out of the tag team so he can push his career again because he finally figured out which gym Triple H is working out at again.
Or it's his plan to retire because he has a fucking hurt back.
Or that.
Because of the two of them, he's the injured one. Remember this.
At least he has teeth.
Hey, Cesaro has nice porcelain teeth. But you don't need teeth to be able to wrestle. You need a back to be able to wrestle.
Tell that to Shawn Michaels.
Hey, Shawn Michaels has a new back, goddammit. He has an exoskeletal back. He's just fine. I guess it wouldn't be exoskeletal, it would be interskeletal, but still. He's a cyborg now, damn it. Anyway, let's go on to Big E. Besides, this is Shawn Michaels we're talking about. His back is powered by God.
This is true.
Lest we forget, his healing came after he became a born-again Christian, so it could be argued 'twas not the doctors that fixed Shawn Michaels, 'twas God that shined down upon his favorite son.
I hope God's a better doctor than he is a tag team partner.
Right? God knew his favorite son did not need a tag team partner. Because he has a God-powered back. Anyway, it's Big E. 5 for the match, 4 for the main event, 15 for being on the winning team, 1 for the Flush Midnight Hour, 2 for the Big E to belly suplex, 1 for a side suplex, 29 points to Big E Langston.
359.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. Okay, yeah, it was 2 belly to belly suplexes. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that's right. 29 is right. And then we go to the man of the hour, the winner, Kofi Kingston. 5 for a match, 4 for being in the main event, 20 for winning a match, and she fucking forgot it again. 10 for, is it 10 for winning the main event? Or is it 5?
5. Plus
5
for
for
being
winning
in
the
it.
main. Yeah, 5 for winning the main event. 1 for the Midnight Hour, 1 for a drop kick, 1 for the leaping clothesline, 1 for the SOS, 1 for a standard clothesline, 1 for another leaping clothesline, 1 for the boom drop, 1 for a, I assume that's a suicide dive. She says dive. 1 for the double stomp, 1 for a drop kick, and 1 for a tornado DDT. 44 points to Kofi Kingston.
All right. So that's gonna be 305 live.
Woo! You do realize if he ever went to 205 live, no one would be able to beat him.
Yeah.
It's Kofi.
Yeah.
Then again, they have a lot of great talent over there in 205 live, but I think Kofi would just step up his game and show why he's the veteran.
Perhaps. All right.
Speaking of 205 live, let's go to the happy totals.
Yeah, in the lead at 9,044 points.
Jesus Christ!
Is Jeff. And the Glorious, followed at 84.76 by me. Followed by 79.88 for Tiff.
Wow, she's actually catching up pretty freaking quick here. Dude, she has a chance of overtaking you come SummerSlam.
I don't know. She's still 400 points behind, 500 points behind me.
Yeah, we have a weekend of pay-per-view. I think she could do it. We also have a 205 live.
Yeah.
So 205 live comes.
Well, if we're making that argument, I'm only 600 points behind you.
Yeah, but you don't have the entire. Well, actually, yeah, you do. Never mind. Shit. Yeah, fair.
Hashtag big dog.
Hashtag P1.
Mine's the actual main event.
It's still a title match, goddammit. Hashtag woo!
Yeah, it's going to be an even better title match when Joe goes nuts and gets himself disqualified.
Please don't fucking do that, Joe. Please, please don't get disqualified. I doubt he'd do that in a title match, though, honestly.
True.
And especially if it's Joe versus AJ Styles, knowing this is a match that the fans want to see, I doubt he would jeopardize that.
True.
Yeah, Joe values his fans way too much for that.
Yeah.
So, 205 Live, coming from, as one of our favorite YouTubers would say, the Mecca of stupid, Orlando, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same place SmackDown is.
Yep. We kick things off in the ring with Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto and Lince Dorado, with a returning Grand Metalik with noisemakers at the ringside.
Okay.
That's right. Grand Metalik has returned from his hiatus in Mexico.
With noisemakers.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't there last week. He had to go home to Mexico for some reason for a week. But he's back now.
He probably had to get his visa renewed.
Maybe. But he's back.
Cool.
And in louder number.
Mm-hmm.
So, this match is what you'd expect from the Lucha House Party and Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy. It was actually a pretty darn good match. Yeah. Despite the fact Lince Dorado, and explain this one to me, Lince Dorado wrestling still with that cast on his arm because he has strained ligaments in his thumb, despite the fact Grand Metalik is standing right fucking there and is very capable of wrestling in his place. Why would you put Lince Dorado in that position of potentially further injuring that hand, despite that it's in a cast, when you have a perfectly healthy lucha wrestler standing right fucking there?
I don't know.
I'm like, oh my god. Why would you put your wrestlers in this kind of harm, WWE? This is dumb. Either way, it's a good back and forth, but yeah, the Lucha House Party, they just they cannot overcome the sheer power of Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy, the premier athlete and the juggernaut of 205 Live.
Okay, then.
Yep, the 8-pack was too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, Grand Metalik fight for accompanying his friends and not stepping up to say, hey, I'll wrestle so you don't have to fuck your hand up some more.
Okay.
We have Kalisto. We have 5 for being in the match. 4 moves for the roll-through kick, the Hurricane Rana DDT, the apron kick, and the Tope Suicida. For a total of 9 points to Kalisto.
284.
And Lince Dorado, Golden Links with the busted paw.
Mm.
We have 5 points for a match, 5 for the OMG because he pulled out the double golden rewind. And 10 move points for Hurricane Rana, 2 drop salts, a diving crossbody, an enziguri, rolling wheel kick, super kick, bronco buster, the aforementioned golden rewind, and the Tope Suicida, because they did it at the same time. For a total of 20 points to the Golden Links.
Does he get an OMG for doing all that with a broken hand?
Ha! Well, I already gave him OMG for the double golden rewind.
Fair enough.
That's impressive in and of itself, considering what the golden rewind is. In fact, he did 2 of them, so one of them he had to use the broken fucking hand.
Yep.
And if you look at his moves, most of the moves he pulled off were leg moves, so he literally used moves where he didn't have to use his hands at all.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, literally every move he did, aside from the golden rewind, was a non-hand move.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll go up to Buddy Murphy.
Okay.
He gets 5 points for being in a match, 15 for being on the winning team, 3 points for countering a tilt-a-whirl DDT from Kalisto, and 4 move points for a running high knee, a pancake splash, knee drop, and the deadlift German suplex for a total of 27 points to Buddy Murphy.
Okay, that becomes 240 to Buddy Murphy, a.k.a. Mr. I'd rather hang out with Tony Nese than potentially go do something about my fiance being murdered by an MMA star.
Excuse me?
He's dating Alexa.
Oh.
They're engaged.
Oh, that's true.
And he's apparently okay with her just getting, potentially murdered by Ronda Rousey. So
yeah, but he probably also figures she has the best bodyguard in the world. She's not in any danger. Because if anyone really tries to hurt Alexa, they're going to get these hands.
Also true.
I don't think Buddy Murphy is worried with the monster among men, Mr. Monster in the Bank, standing behind her.
If I don't know, if I were Buddy Murphy, I'd be worried about the monster among men stealing my fiance.
That almost happened. Did you know about that?
I did not.
Yeah, WWE almost wrote that in. And they decided not to do it. Probably because Buddy was like, no, that's not going to happen. But that's why they had that storyline for a little while with the mixed the mixed match challenge where Braun was getting fresh with Alexa over the course of like a month, because that was leading into a storyline where he was going to get fresh with Alexa. And then they decided not to do it. That's why that entire storyline was dropped. And he still mentions her as a friend, but he's not like trying to like kiss her all the time anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. Yellow news bit for the week. Anyway, we go to Mr. 8-Pack himself, Tony Nese, the winner of the match.
Yes.
5 for the match, 20 for winning the match, 3 for avoiding the Salida del Sol, 1 for a springboard moonsault, which is impressive for a man his size. Total of 29 points to the premier athlete.
169. I feel like at some point here we need to get Tony Nese to face Carl Anderson in an abs versus abs match.
Tony Nese would win. He has an 8-pack.
That's true.
So then we cut the backstage for 3 separate promos. So 5 points apiece to Mustafa Ali, Hideo Itami, and Noam Dar.
Okay, hang on. Let's see here. Noam Dar and Mustafa Ali and
Hideo Itami.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Basically, they're cutting promos for their upcoming matches because the main event is Mustafa versus Hideo, and Noam has the next match.
Got it.
Now, question.
Answer.
Is Sean Maluda still on the roster?
No, Sean Maluda showed up?
Yeah, he's back. So if he's not on the roster, put him back on the roster.
I'm not going to do that because he shows up like once in a blue moon. I think he's an NXT guy that just shows up once in a blue moon.
They said he was on NXT. The last time we saw him was on NXT. But who knows? This is the second time he's been on 205 Live. They may be just pulling him up. We don't know.
I'll throw one about him.
Yeah. So I gave him points just because he's an actual wrestler as opposed to local talent.
Is that Sean S.H. or
S.E.? At least that's what I have down.
Okay. On Maluda. All right.
Yeah, he got to come out and job to Noam Dar.
Okay. How many points did he get?
He gets 5 for the match, 1 for a spinning back kick. So being an actual wrestler, he got in offense. For a total of 6 points to Sean Maluda.
Cool.
And then Noam Dar. We have 5 for a match, 20 for a win, 3 move points for the European uppercut combo, a leg sweep, and his finishing move, the Nova Rolla, for a total of 28 points to Noam Dar.
Is that what he's calling that now?
Yeah, it's the running Gamengari, his running kick. That's what it's been called for a while. The Nova. Well, it used to be called the Nova Roller, but he's calling it the Nova Rolla, at least if the commentators are to be believed.
Yeah, okay.
And during this match, again, proving why he's probably arguably the best heel on fucking WWE right now, aside from maybe Paul Heyman. TJP, 3 points to Tim for a silent promo, because in the middle of the match, it cuts backstage, and he's watching the match on a monitor, and he's drinking something in a cup. I can only assume it's coffee, but he finishes it, tosses the cup aside, and like makes like he's not impressed and pulls out his phone and proceeds to do shit on his phone in the middle of the match. It was fucking great. Like, he's like, fuck Noam Dar. He's not impressive.
Fair enough.
Yeah, TJP is probably bar none my favorite heel right now. It's heel superstar. Because his heel promos are so fucking good.
Fair enough.
Speaking of promos, cut backstage for more Despair promos to hype shit up.
Okay.
We have Cedric Alexander hyping up the title match.
Right.
We have Drew Gulak hyping up the same match. And 3 points to Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick for making Drew Gulak look pretty by standing there.
And Brian Kendrick.
Oh, and they also cut promos. Cedric also mentions that, to hell with like Jack Gallagher coming out of nowhere, blah, blah, blah. Talking about how Jack wasn't there only to show up to blindside him and stuff. And Drew's like, so, Cedric, if you're so worried about Jack, why don't you face him in a match next week? So it's going to be Cedric versus Jack this week for the go-home show to SummerSlam.
Cool.
Yep. And then we have our main event for the first time ever. Hideo Itami, the Japanese legend, versus Mustafa Ali, the heart of 205 Live.
Was that not the first time they had that triple threat with Buddy Murphy?
Well, the first time they've ever had a one-on-one match.
Fair. You may proceed.
And Hideo Itami wins after exploiting fucking Mustafa Ali's back injury to the point that Mustafa Ali goes up for the 054 and gets fucking dizzy and can't do it. And Itami just beats the holy hell out of him, doing like multiple shotgun drop kicks and pinning him. And then after the match, like, he leaves and Mustafa Ali tries to get up and then can't and just crumples against the ropes and falls down. And the ref is like trying to check on him and stuff. And he's like, Mustafa is like, stop, can you hear me? Can you hear me? What year is it? And he's like muttering out 2018, so he kind of knows what year it is. But fucking DM, the GM, and another ref come out, and he's like, what's wrong with him? What's going on? Mustafa. He's like, we need to get some help out here. He's like, what's going on? And the ref that was checking on him, which was the ref of the match, was like, he doesn't know where he is. So they're doing this whole angle where Mustafa is so hurt now that he basically doesn't know where he is, and he's like maybe he's suffering from a concussion or something, or something wrong with his back that's affecting like his head and his memory and stuff.
Interesting.
This match, fucking great match. Like, probably so far my match of the year, because there were a couple of sloppy spots, but for the most part, it was a spot on, very clean, very technical match. And Hideo Itami was completely selling the whole heel bit of, respect me, and just being this vicious striker, and just hating Mustafa Ali for not showing him respect. And Mustafa Ali fucking sold the hell out of this match with, his back injury and stuff. Because, prior to this match with his promo and stuff, Mustafa Ali's promo was he was taping up his hands for getting ready for the match, and DM, the GM, walks in and is like, look, Mustafa, you don't have to do this. You don't have anything to prove. You were just in the hospital like yesterday or something like that, or like, last week. And, you're not at 100%. You shouldn't be doing this. And and Mustafa's like, no, the ref says I'm okay and I'm good to go. I'll be all right. Don't worry about me. And the GM's like, all right, but still, you have nothing to prove. What do you have to prove doing this? And Mustafa's like, oh, I'm going to fight and I'm going to beat Hideo Itami. And so he goes out there and just puts up a really damn good fight, but then gets completely wrecked at the end because of that injury coming back. And basically, something like that, he's like super fucking injured. And just the way he sold it the entire match, just was such a great match from start to finish. It was well booked, well executed by both superstars. For the first time in a while, I saw a match where they told a story in the ring. You don't see that a lot in WWE anymore. And I love that they did that. And I love that they were able to do that. And it's just, so good, this match. If you haven't seen the match, you owe it to yourself to watch this match. It was that good. And I'm actually I'm interested to see where they're going to go from here with Mustafa Ali. Like, obviously, either it's big storyline or they're using this to write him off TV for a little while to give him a break. But they're obviously going to go somewhere with this storyline eventually, with the way they've been telling this story. And eventually, I think Mustafa is going to come back, and I think he's going to beat Itami. I think that's what it's leading to, is Mustafa Ali finally overcoming Hideo Itami. Because, he's basically the Daniel Bryan or Rey Mysterio of 205 Live. He's the underdog. Despite having all these great matches and winning a lot of matches, he still comes into almost every match being the underdog. And I think this is a great underdog story. And I think if they don't have him win this feud, then there's something wrong, because he needs to win this feud at this point. And credit to Hideo Itami. Number one, his English has come a long way. He still speaks Japanese like a lot, but he also speaks quite a bit of English. And his English is actually pretty damn good. And he is a damn good heel. Also, Yakuza Kenta is amazing.
Yeah.
Because like when he's backstage, when he's walking around, because he's a heel, he walks, if he's not like training and he's just walking around backstage, he walks around with a fucking sport coat. So he looks like fucking Yakuza Kenta.
Nice.
It's fucking cool, yeah. Like, I love Hideo Itami. He's so good. He's adapted so well to WWE. I love the guy. I think he's awesome. And I love they're playing into the whole striker thing. Yet he can still surprise you when he whips out like the fucking Falcon Arrow and shit. You're just like, oh yeah, that's right. He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the loser first, Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of how awesome this match was. So you have 5 points for the match, 4 for the main event, 27 points for avoiding a roundhouse kick, a corner big boot, a spinning roundhouse kick, a spinning back fist, and for countering a shotgun drop kick, a running knee, an attempted GTS, and 2 attempts at the twisting sleep, which is what I'm calling his new finishing move. So unofficial name, but that is the least official name for that move. And then 9 points for actually executing moves, 2 standing drop kicks, a somersault plancha, a diving crossbody, 2 rope evade high kicks, a rolling thunder X Factor, a super kick, and a tornado DDT for a total of 45 points to Mustafa Ali. And you completely tuned out. That's great.
No, I'm still here.
Did you hear any of what I said?
Some of it.
Yeah, his point spread tells the tale of how awesome this match was.
Indeed. What was the total?
45.
All right. That's going to put him at 415.
Yeah, 27 points in evasions and counters alone. That's how awesome this match was.
That is true. How about Kenta?
Kenta over there, Hideo Itami. 5 for being in the match, 4 for the main event, 20 for winning, 5 for winning the main event, 9 for countering the Rolling Thunder X Factor, a snap suplex, and a tilt-a-whirl DDT, and 5 points for an OMG for apron shotgun dropkick into a turnbuckle post.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Because they were literally on the apron, and like Mustafa like kicks him away a little bit, and then Kenta just kind of looks up and just kind of runs across the apron, shotgun drop kicks him back first into the turnbuckle post, and Mustafa just fucking crumples. That's like where the turnaround was, because that's where his back really got super injured during the match. So I don't know if you agree that should get an OMG, but I put that in as OMG because I was like, damn, that looked vicious.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then 15 points for a spinning back kick, 3 knee strikes, 3 high kicks, 4 shotgun drop kicks, spinning roundhouse kick, big boot, spinning back fist, and a Falcon Arrow for a total of 58 points to Hideo Itami.
All right.
Yeah, he beat the holy shit out of Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. One of those kicks was particularly vicious near the corner when he nailed him. Mustafa went up, did a full 360 before landing, got turned inside out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's check the scores.
It's probably the spinning roundhouse kick.
I'm thinking it was.
But yeah, that match was fucking amazing.
All right, final scores for the week. 91-89.
Realize we can't see it, right?
What?
So you realize we can't see it.
Why not?
Hi, Jim.
Oh, when did that happen?
I don't know. There you go. Oh, hey, she broke 8,000 points. How about that?
Oh, yeah. 91-89 in the lead for Glorious, 85-21 for me, and 80-20 for Tiff.
The battle for second place has begun.
Mm-hmm. All right, there we go. Let's go to the leaderboards.
Yep.
Still on the top is Seth freaking Rollins at 861, followed by Mr. Monster in the Bank, Braun Strowman at 673. The big dog Roman Reigns coming up in a third place for 553, followed by Daniel Bryan at 550. Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler in fifth place this week at 539, also tied with Jeff Hardy right below him, also at 539. Finn Balor coming in at 528, followed by Drew Gulak, the number one contender to the Cruiserweight title at 511. We have AJ Styles, the WWE Champion, at 508. Rounding out the top 10 is Carmella, the SmackDown Women's Champion, at 478. And if we're discounting the tie, then Shinsuke Nakamura, the U.S. Champion, makes it in at 468. Well, there you go.
Fair.
Indeed.
Shaping up to be one hell of a slobber knocker, Jim.
Yep. Let's go talk about that slobber knocker.
Let's.
Yeah.
This 5-hour slobber knocker.
Potentially 7.
Potentially 7?
Including the pre-show.
I was included. What is it? 5 hours plus 2 to the pre-show?
Potentially.
Jesus, I thought it was only a 4-hour pay-per-view. Plus 1 for the pre-show.
Well, they have it slated to go to midnight if my time if needed. They don't know if they will need it. They don't.
So this could potentially be a bigger show than WrestleMania.
Could be. We'll see. All right, so
Summerfest, baby.
Pretty much. We'll go ahead and save that, and we'll close that off. You go over here.
Hi, Jim.
Hi. All right. So, first, let's do the pre-show matches.
Okay.
We have Rusev and Lana versus Andrade Almas and Zelina Vega in a mixed tag match.
I'm going to say Almas and Vega because Aiden English is going to fuck it up again and get kicked out of Rusev Day.
Probably. That's a good call. Also on the pre-show, the B Team will defend the Raw Tag Team titles against the Revival.
Really? The Raw Tag titles are on the pre-show?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Battle of the Scrubs. I'm going to say the B Team retains because fuck the Revival.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah. I would agree. I think the B Team will retain. Also on the pre-show, we have Cedric Alexander defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Drew Gulak.
I honestly don't know where this is going to go. It depends on what happens on 205 Live. Because if, as I expect, Cedric loses to, well, as I hope, Cedric loses to Jack Gallagher, I see Cedric retaining. But if Cedric wins for the second week in a row, he's not retaining that title.
Yeah, I would not. I think they would put the title on Drew Gulak. I think he's earned it at this point, and I think it would change things up by having a strong heel champion on the show again.
I think so. Because I think the other thing, too, is if they do that, then they can push Mustafa Ali for the title, which is, I think, what they want to do. I think they want to put the belt on Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, well, I vote Drew Gulak for a better 205 Live.
Fair. I'd be fine either way, despite the fact that if Drew wins, I get less points.
Fair. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. We've got Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin.
Finn has to win the rubber match. Come on, God damn it, give Finn a fucking victory.
I can agree. Finn deserves a victory there. We have The Miz versus Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan deserves to win this feud, especially with the way The Miz started it. Daniel Bryan deserves to get his revenge.
The victory is going to depend on if Daniel signs a contract. If Daniel signs a contract, The Miz will win and the feud will keep going.
Potentially.
If Daniel's leaving, he'll win. Potentially. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. Many other matches. We have Shinsuke Nakamura defending the U.S. title against literally broken Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, Shinsuke is winning because Jeff can't fucking wrestle right now. I think the Hardy Boys are going to retire. It would not surprise me if the Hardy Boys are announced for the Hall of Fame class of 2019.
I can see it. I agree. Shinsuke retains. All right, what else we got here? We have Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match.
Sadly, I see Charlotte actually winning this.
Yeah. I think that's where they would probably go if they're going to book it the way it seems like they are. But...
which I don't think she deserves it, but...
I make one counterpoint. It depends on their plans for Evolution.
Why?
They are not going to put any women's titles on any horsewomen if they're going to book the horsewomen versus horsewomen feud, because the title would languish and not be defended, and the entire rest of the division would be fucked.
But you have the Raw Women's title to defend. Unless Ronda... well, no, it would work, because if Ronda wins and Charlotte wins, they're like, I'm the Raw Women's Champion. I'm the SmackDown Women's Champion. Well, I'm the Raw Women's Champion, so therefore my four horsewomen is better. It would basically play into that feud.
That's true. That could work. I didn't think about that. All right. Fair enough. Let's see what else we got here. We've got Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre in his corner, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Seth freaking Rollins with Dean Ambrose in his corner.
As much as I hate to say it, I think Seth is taking it back.
Seems that way.
Because you don't bring Dean Ambrose back only to have Seth lose. That'd be a waste of a comeback.
That is true.
Unless Dean turns on him.
Right.
Which I don't know why he would at this point, but hey, it's WWE.
Well, that is purportedly the inevitable plan, is they want to heel turn Dean and feud him with Seth.
This would be the way to do it.
Yeah, good. All right, let's see here. We have Mr. Monster in the Bank, Braun Strowman, defending his Monster in the Bank briefcase against Kevin Owens.
I'm hoping Braun wins. I'm hoping he retains that briefcase.
He needs to. He really needs to. Braun needs to win that. All right. Yeah. We have the Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'm picking the New Day.
I can agree with that. The Bludgeon Brothers have done fuck all with the titles.
Yeah, I'm picking the New Day because then the New Day can feud with Sanity.
That would be a good feud. I would approve of this.
All right. Let's see here. We've got AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Samoa Joe.
Honestly, I want Samoa Joe to win because I want a good heel champion on SmackDown.
That would be very interesting to see, and I would not surprise me if they did that.
Because think about it, if AJ drops the title, that leaves him free to reform the Bullet Club.
That's true.
And then get the title back with the Bullet Club at his side.
That's true. All right. We have Alexa Bliss defending the Raw Women's Championship against the baddest woman on the planet, Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
I'm going to say they're going to hand Ronda the title.
At this point, she's hot enough. She needs it.
Yeah. Well, especially if Charlotte is going to win the SmackDown title, then yeah, Ronda's winning that one. It's the only thing that makes sense going into Evolution.
Indubitably.
Also, UFC horsewomen would probably be better off. They would look stronger pending the result of TakeOver Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess who the NXT Women's Champion is right now?
Yeah, Shayna Baszler, I know.
Yeah, so they'd be walking in with 2 titles.
That's true. But then if Bayley and Sasha turn around and walk in with women's tag titles...
This is true. Could you imagine if... that's what they... Oh, god damn! That's what they could do for the versus four women build-up. Because I'm thinking they're going to kick off the feud. It's not just going to be a big-ass fucking match. What if the last 2 teams in that tag tournament, the 2 teams that are going to go head-to-head at Evolution, are Sasha and Bayley versus Jessamine Duke and the other chick?
Could be.
For the tag titles. And you have like fucking Shayna and Ronda in their corner, and you have Charlotte and Becky in the other corner.
Yeah, that works.
There's your 4 horsemen feud kickoff right there.
That works. And finally, your main event, hopefully for the last time ever. The big dog Roman Reigns will challenge one more time against the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar.
Okay, here's what I hope happens, and I think there's a strong possibility of this happening. Roman Reigns wins because Vince's wet dream. As he's celebrating, Braun comes out, fucking running power slams his ass like 3 times, cashes in 1, 2, 3. Brock gets screwed out of his rematch.
Yeah, they could do that. There is another rumored ending to the show going on to guarantee that the show doesn't end with Roman Reigns getting booed.
Well, I don't know if he would actually get booed at this point.
I don't know, but
I can guarantee you Strowman would get more cheers for basically taking him out and taking the title.
Yeah.
But at this point, because as you pointed out, he kind of has the Cena effect at the moment, I think a good portion of the WWE Universe would legitimately cheer him for taking the title off of Brock Lesnar.
Fair enough.
But what's the third plan?
Well, there was a rumor going around that what will happen to make a show that people go home happy and not booing Roman Reigns is that Roman Reigns will defeat Brock Lesnar clean and win the Universal Championship.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar will then get up incensed at this and attempt to fucking destroy Roman Reigns in a vicious manner. As Roman Reigns is getting beat down and destroyed by Brock Lesnar, he will be rescued by Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and the 3 will proceed to write Brock Lesnar off TV by triple powerbombing his ass through a table.
That will still result in not only 1, but 3 men getting booed. That's a worse situation.
No, because fucking Shield. People cheer Shield. Shield equals cheers.
But also, if they're planning to heel turn Dean Ambrose, they wouldn't do that because that would completely derail that entirely.
True. Well, like I said, they're not going to necessarily heel turn him right away. It might be a couple months away.
Unless, again, they have him turn on Seth.
Right. But what I mean is, I think they really will have it, but I think what might happen is Seth will win the belt back, and then they might have him, have it for a month or 2, and then have Dean turn on him, but I don't know. But basically, the plan was basically send them out and basically use the Shield to nullify the booing of Roman Reigns.
I hope they don't do that. That sounds incredibly fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Money in the Bank I think, is a better way to go.
All right, well, we will see what happens. Anyway. Now, here's another possibility. Imagine Brock actually wins.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Then the Shield does that. Then Braun cashes in.
That I'd be okay with. That's actually a much better outcome than the one I had. Because Roman doesn't win, Braun does, and we get the Shield. That's a win-win-win right there. I like how you think, Jim. I'm pulling for that. That is my prediction.
There we go.
That's what I want to see.
All right, we're on a lock. Okay.
Because fuck.
Now, there is the all bet remote possibility that it could be Kevin Owens who does that too. So,
Man, at that point, I don't know who I'd rather see as a champ, Roman or Kevin.
yeah.
Because I like Kevin Owens, but kind of over him at the moment.
Right. No, we'll see.
Kind of boring.
But that is the plan for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. Also, do you really see Kevin Owens pop up powerbombing Brock Lesnar?
No, but I can see him super kicking Brock Lesnar and hitting him with a frog splash.
Yeah.
We'll see. At any rate, that's it for this week. As I mentioned at the top of the program, next week we will be off schedule. We'll be scoring. There will be no news separately. Any news we'll cover at the scoring video if there's anything major, not a lot of stuff. That'll be on Tuesday night. We'll be doing the regular weekly scoring. SummerSlam and our season finale, I might add, will be scored next Thursday. Not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday after SummerSlam, obviously.
Right.
And so that'll be our finale. And then the weekend following that, of course, will be our next season, our season 7 kickoff, lucky number 7.
Yeah, but because of that, the news for that week might get shifted around because we're going to need to make time to do the drafting and all that shit.
Yes, there will be drafting and other stuff.
But we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, so sorry, we're in season 7. That'll be the season 8 kickoff. My apologies.
Yeah.
So the season 8 kickoff, there'll be a draft, all kinds of fun things. And we will go from there.
Indeed.
All righty, Jeff, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
I'm James. Peace.
Looks like